All right, welcome to Big Ben's Boxing. I am Big Ben. As you can see, I'm away from the office today, but I just couldn't wait to sh- give my review on the important fights of this weekend. And so, with that, I'm gonna get right into it. The very first thing is, hey, I'd like to congratulate Katie Taylor for winning her rematch with Chantel Cameron. Uh, in the very first fight between Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron, I went against the grain and I picked Chantel Cameron to win. And I picked Chantel Cameron to win because, listen, Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron in comparison are very close, like this, right? When you look at their skill levels, they're about like this, right? But when you look at the talent level, Katie Taylor is slightly higher, right? But the reason that I picked Chantel Cameron is because when you look at the size and you look at the style that they fight, Chantel Cameron is slightly bigger. She's slightly longer, slightly taller, and I knew that was going to be a problem for Katie Taylor. And I was right. Chantel Cameron won the first fight. Now, in the second fight, I just picked Katie Taylor because I just felt like Katie Taylor had this thing within her where as this level of determination where she was going to work very hard to pull it off, and she did. She worked very hard to pull it off, man. You could look and see how exhausted she was. And she won a decision over Chantel Cameron by hustling, by throwing fast combinations. Her hands are faster than Chantel Cameron. That's why I say she has that edge on the talent, you know. And Chantel Cameron, knowing that Katie Taylor throws faster punches, she didn't do what she needed to do to offset that. Like, hey, man, I'm going to keep you at a distance. We're not going to get into these exchanges like that. But with that being said, Katie Taylor pulled it off a decision. I mean, hey, they were fighting in Ireland, so Chantel had to know that, man, I'm going to have to really step it up if I want a decision here anyway. But again, congratulations to Katie Taylor for her win and becoming two-time undisputed because she moved up in weight and she fought for Chantel Cameron's title. Now, I think that hey, what will Katie Taylor do now? I think that, man, she's looking to leave boxing and she want to leave out on a bang historically. I think that she may try to move up another weight division and challenge a young lady that she's been in the ring with already and has a victory over already, which is Jessica McCaskill. And she might try to challenge her for the 147 title. And that would be an interesting fight. That would be an interesting fight. Hey, uh, it's no foregone conclusion that Katie will beat Jessica, and she's moving up to Jessica weight. Now I think that'd be interesting, to be a lady boxing with a three times undisputed, and that's something that Clarissa Shield has done. So man, now the next one I want to get to is Hector Garcia fought. Hector Garcia fought Lamont Roach, and Lamont Roach beat Hector Garcia. Uh, I saw it. It was a decent match. A decent match. Hector Garcia has a chance to try to redeem himself. He's pulling himself back. I mean, he lost Gervonta Davis, so he's trying to bring his career back. Show his validity. He's fighting at 130, but Lamont Roach was a little busier. I agree with the judge's decision. By the end of the fight, I thought that Lamont Roach won that fight. So that was it was a good fight. Now, the next one is what's the guy named Matias versus Eglishaw, and Subriel Matias. I hope I'm not butchering his name. He fights at 140 pounds. He's a champ at 140 pounds. Man, there's a lot going on at 140 pounds. It's very interesting because you still have Teofimo. You still have we're going to have the winner of Devin Haney and Regis. And so 140 is looking pretty good. You got Ryan Garcia hovering around. You got Rolly up there. And so this guy's in a division where he can make some very interesting fights. When I first seen the fight, when the fights first started, I thought that Egglershaw was going to take it away, man. He has a long reach and jab, man, and he was sticking a jab out and boom, and coming back. The referee told him, that he couldn't hold that hand out there. And I'm one is like, man, well, why are you holding it out there and try to hold him and throw the left hand instead of popping the jab? Anyway, between that and the pressure that Matias was putting on him, man crumbled, and Matias made him succumb. And in the 6th round, they stopped the fight in the corner. I just think that, hey, it was too much pressure. I do look forward to seeing this young man Matias fight some more at 140 here, and it would be nice to see the 140-pound weight division clean itself out. I would love to see the fights get made, but that's all over, right? All the weight divisions. Now, the next fight I want to talk about is Jermall Charlo versus Jose Benavidez Jr. It was a shutout. As a matter of fact, I thought a couple times it looked like Jermall stunned him. I seen his legs buckle a little bit. Jermall didn't finish him, but Jermall is talking about, hey, this is a comeback. The only thing I'm going to say about that, is that, man, look, size matters. Size matters. And so, therefore, when you look at Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron, hey, what Katie had to overcome was size. That's why that fight was such a struggle for her, because Chantel is a little bigger. With Jermall Charlo and Jose Benavidez Jr., what you got to understand is Jermall Charlo was a champ at 154 pounds. Then Jermall got big over the 2-year layoffs where he didn't fight. And he came in and he weighed in at 166 pounds when they agreed to meet at 163. And I believe that Jose Benavidez Jr. Weighed in at 161. But Jose Benavidez Jr. started off as a 140-pound fighter as a pro. Then he worked his way up to 147, then 154. All right. And so the point that I'm making is that Jermall has always been a little bigger than this guy. Naturally a little bigger. And so I don't want to, and the reason that I'm bringing it up, because I don't want us to get into, well, Jermall looked so good. He looked good. His jab looked good. It did. But if he's going to stay in 168, we need to see how he looks against a legitimate 168-pound fighter. If he's going to go back to 160, we need to see how he looks against a 160-pound fighter. One thing I'm going to say is, I think, and again, the size matters, getting to the fight, the main event of this card, hey, man, Demetrius Andrade is a very good, talented, highly skilled fighter. And, man, he ran into a guy who was bigger than him. And so that's all I'm saying is that, hey, we don't know how Jermall is going to be at 168 pounds. So when I look at it, it's like, okay, you look pretty good, man, but what weight are you fighting in? What are you going to do? Are you going to defend your titles? Man, let's see you do this. He got a couple challenges waiting for him at 160. Man, there are people who are waiting, definitely want to fight him. I think David Benavidez would definitely want to fight him now. It's like, okay, let me avenge my brother's loss, And so we have to see how Jermall would fight with somebody who's bigger, somebody who his punches would not have as much of effect. And other than that, he did look good, and I'm not trying to take anything away from his performance. The only thing I am trying to say is that, hey, man, I don't know if Jose Benavidez Jr. is a good gauge to say how good Jamal is at this time. You know, that's a man who always fought at a weight that was smaller than you. Okay. Now, getting to the main event of the Showtime card, which was David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. Again, talent-wise, they're here. Skill-wise, they're here. But when you get a very good, talented little man, and he fights a very good, talented big man, all things being equal, the big man, he's beating the little man. Demetrius Andrade, he did good the first couple rounds. He moved, he threw fast combinations. But here's the thing. As soon as he got hit, man, and Benavidez threw like this overhand right. Boom, caught him high on the forehead. Man, that fight changed. And so I'm not... Listen, Benavidez is a good puncher. He's not a great puncher, but man, he's a good puncher. He's probably a great fighter, but he's not a great puncher. And man, he caught that man, and he never could recover. He never recovered from there. Hey, it was just I'm breaking him down from here. I'm breaking him down. I'm punishing him more and more until it's over. And what wound up happening is the referee went to the corner and say, man, if you don't show me something, I'm going to stop the fight. And his corner was like, go ahead and stop the fight. You know, looking out for the safety and the well-being of their man. They was like, stop that fight. I can see Andrade was in shock. He was in shock because it's like, man, nobody does this to me. Nobody can do this to me. Nobody can be, man. But again, you know, you're looking at a guy and he's a good fighter. You're a good fighter, but you're giving up height. You're giving up reach. And man, he's naturally a little bigger than you. I saw a couple times, it looked like Andrade tried to do what Caleb Plant did. He tried to clinch, you know, and I think that Caleb Plant would have got stopped if he didn't clinch so much. But I can see where he tried to clinch and Benavidez pulled his arms back. Like, man, you know, I'm not letting you hold me, you know. So he wasn't even really strong enough to really hold him, you know. And so, yeah, it did. I think it was the beginning of the sixth, after the fifth round. So I think he caught him in the fourth, beat him in the fifth, and hey, they didn't let him come out for the sixth. It was a great card, though. It was a great card. It's very entertaining. I said that it would be a good fight, and I still think it was a good fight because Andrade came out and did everything that he can do. And you can see, man, that, hey, man, this guy's trying to fight. And it was interesting. It was good. It was entertaining. You know, it was very entertaining. And so, with that being said, that's the wrap up of the most important fights of this weekend. Now, listen, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I'm asking you to please subscribe, like my video, and comment, man, because I want to hear what you have to say. If you agree with me, if you don't, I want to hear your comments. I want to see your comments, and man, I'm going to do the best that I can to respond to them. And that's it for now from Big Ben Boxing. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.